And this is a miss, man. I really thought we were going to do something fucking cool here. And so Ricky Starks is walking out. Ricky Starks walks out and he's like, hey, I get it. I've been wanting to fight Jericho again. I beat him, but apparently he don't want to fight me again. Sucks for me. But I've got an open contract. So at Revolution, anyone wants to step up, come sign this contract. And Jericho walks out. And it's just like, fuck, man. And here's where it really kicked me in the dick on this one. Is Jericho's like, oh, you're just trying to goat me out here. Well, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. And Ricky Stark's like, fine, then all right, cool. Then it's not you. So someone else will come out. And fucking Pretty Peter Avalon walks out. And I'm like, hell yeah. Make that shit happen. I'm down with Pretty Peter Avalon, especially in a pay-per-view where you could get him pulled to the ring and that bed, that makeshift bed that he has, and the music. He's fucking awesome. But he makes it, 5 steps, takes a Judas effect, because on top of a Judas effect, Jericho's wearing this outdated spike jacket that he stole from the cover band of Kiss, and hits Peter Avalon in the face, and then walks down there and was like, oh yeah, you just think, well, how about this? I'll even say JS isn't even allowed. And I signed it. And Ricky Stark's like, oh man. And Jericho's like, the thing is, you can't ever outsmart me. And Ricky Stark's like, I kind of did. So as a standalone segment, and again, this is where post year 3, I feel like I'm starting to say this more and more, and I don't know if it's a good thing, where in the segment by itself, if I were just to show you, hey, here's a pro wrestling thing I watched, and you were to watch it with no context of their prior feuds or anything like that, I think you would agree. Good segment, fun segment. The babyface outsmarted him to get what he really wanted. Ha ha ha. But that segment then just essentially got rid of 2 months of storytelling that we did with Action Andretti and Sammy Guevara and Garcia and all this shit. And it was just like, that was fucking dumb. Again, the segment itself, good. The story, though, disjointed and kind of stupid. What did you think?
Yeah, it makes me feel conflicted in that I'm glad they shored up this storyline with something better than what they had been giving us, right? Ricky Starks at least outsmarted him. We get a believable reason for Jericho to be like, hold on, you're walking away from me? Nah. But if that's what we were going to do, and maybe they didn't know where they were going when they started this, but if that's what they were going to do, man, you could have told a great story going up here that still might have made sense, where it's like, oh, I actually beat Jericho. And even if you were like, hey, I won another match because you said, I barely beat you or whatever it was, well, I'm going to prove it. And Jericho's like, no. And he's like, all right, well, fine, then I'm going to move on. And then he goes, no, you're not. Right? Like, you don't move on. I told you you're moving on, right? Like that kind of thing. That could have been fine. Yeah, it undid all of it, though. That's what I'm glad they at least did that. But I don't know that it's enough to move enough people. Like, people were already behind Ricky Starks, right? This didn't help him get more over, I feel like. The crowd was already there, right? First of all, this crowd was hot and was going to cheer for a lot of things. The pin click, which, again, was fun, but like they were just going to cheer anything. So I just don't know that, like, this did Ricky Starks a whole lot of favors. I think where we're at now, is better than anywhere we've been in the storyline, so it feels weird to complain about it, I guess, but it just, all of it's been a kind of I hope we can get this done kind of a feeling for me.
Yeah, because it feels like, again, Jericho in the mid card is the suck of AEW, where he just sucks you into this thing where you're going to get a lot of TV time, but the crowd and the reaction is probably more so just apathy and just, oh, okay, it's fun to sing this song.
Know what it is? It's a lot of smirks. Whenever Jericho's on, we smirk a lot, right? We get a pin
in
click.
The main event. Or in the
right?
in the
just
mid
whatever segment, here. Yeah, since he's been doing this, right? The mid card run since he was not Le Champion anymore. this has been the gimmick, right? He comes out, he says some shit, he wiggles his dick a little bit, he makes a snide remark, they repeat it for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Or we get the pin click or something like that. We do like a few. There's a moment. It feels like every couple of weeks we're like, all right, that was funny.
Yeah, but it's not enough to where I want to watch next week.
Exactly.
I don't want to watch this match. I don't. I think Ricky Starks is past this. Ricky Starks is past the point of needing a win to be validated for the position he's currently in, right? Sometimes you do need that. You need that for bad guys to be real villains. You need that for heroes to be believable and we like. But Ricky Starks is past that. Ricky Starks is already doing the stuff. Jericho feels like he's dragging him back down to like, hey, you're at the starting point. And he's like, brother, I've already lapped this 2 times. I don't need this shit.
And that's the issue there is that it's like you're saying, we did this match already. Now, there's plenty of times we get rematches, but the storyline didn't ever tell the reason, well, why we would be getting a rematch or why he would want a rematch.
Yep.
But for us, the viewer, taking it in, we didn't look at Starks versus Jericho 1 as an all-time banger, right? We weren't begging for number 2. I don't even remember it. I just know he won. Like, I don't even remember. So, yeah, number 2 doesn't excite me in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, and I just think, to me, if you want to be the alternative, the true alternative to WWE and really anything else, I think we're at the point where we want to see matchups that are more fresh and intriguing. No offense to Jericho, but as we've said before, and I'll say it again, post MJF story after he did the 5 labors of Jericho and did that match where he won but should have lost. That's it for me. Nothing about Jericho moves the needle of what he's doing. Even when he was doing the Blackpool Combat Club, Eddie Kingston stuff, nothing for me. And so it's like, I'd rather see Ricky Starks go up against a contemporary. I want to see what it looks like if he were to go up against, not Powerhouse Hobbs, obviously, but Wardlow. Have Wardlow and Ricky Starks. That's more intriguing because what are they going to do? What's the story? With Jericho, it's like, oh, we know the steps
Ricky
here.
Starks and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, it's just the steps
not even
with
that
Jericho.
Not that he's new star or anything as Samoa Joe, but it would be a new feud.
Yeah, but it's just the steps with Jericho are pretty established, so you know what you're going to get more often than not if it's not with MJF. And so it's like, man, I'm just not into it. But anyhow,
that 5 labors of Jericho. It's not my place to tell somebody when they should retire, of course, but that
should have been.
That's where we were. That's what the story they were telling, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
What did I miss?
Yeah.
Tony Khan must have said, no, here, take more of this money. Like, all right, fine.
Yeah, this feels like now we had the moment, like when Undertaker had the moment when he lost the streak, and now we're in this mode of like, okay, man, we missed it, but let's try one more time to get back there. And it's like, we as the audience are like, nah, we're good.
Now it's AJ Styles in a cinematic match. It's like,
whatever, sure,
this is
cool.
done.
Yeah, neat. It was fun.
It right there.
Exactly.
When Brock Lesnar beat him, it should have been somebody else. But when Brock Lesnar did it, it should have been it.
Exactly.